So I have the paint, the exact color of the wall and the exact color for the ceiling. So at least I've got that, right? And then for the texture, I can get spray texture out of a can at the hardware store. I don't have to get a hopper or anything like that and blow it up there and do all that. I can do it out of a can, and then I can mimic the same thing that's on the wall. They have a little thing, you can twist it, and then it comes out finer or heavier, splatter, whatever. And so I'm going to have to do all that. That's going to be a job in itself, right? All of that. That's why I'm waiting. I'm waiting to do this one later. I want to install the ceiling fan. Got the same type of situation upstairs in Mother's room, but because I have an attic, I won't have to cut or patch anything on the ceiling as well as the wall. You'll have to see that whole video series, and if you have an attic at your place, you'll know, hey, I could do the same thing if I want. Video Joe, hey man, he's great. He's showing me all these different things that I can do and save money. You know, if you had somebody else do this, it costs you an arm and a leg, because you've got to get an electrician out here, you've got to get a sheetrock guy out here, you've got to get a painter out here, you got to get an electrician out here to do all this. And if you just watch my videos, you could have done the whole thing yourself. Okay, so far that's that bedroom. That's probably what I'm going to be dealing with. And over here in this bedroom, it remains to be seen. Am I going to take this switch out and put a 2-gang switch here? And that's generally what I do. I'll do it right next to a door, but I've got options. See, I've got this other one over here. This is a 3-way switch that's connected to this switch over here. So depending which way the floor joists are going up above, might make a better way on which location that I install it at. Do you see what I'm saying? And it might minimize some of the holes that I'm going to have to do up in the ceiling. As a matter of fact, I was looking over here. Okay, I guess there's nothing here. See, if the ceiling joists were going from left to right in here, and if I went right there, I'd have to come up, cut a hole, go over to the next one, cut a hole, go to the next one, fish it through there, get it all the way over here. If I had another switch on this wall or an electrical outlet on that wall, I could come up with the switch, come up to there, and go straight across in a bay. Do you see what I'm saying? Go straight across without having to cut anything up in the ceiling other than a hole over here or over there. Does that make sense? If there was a switch there, I could have done that. If there was an electrical outlet there, I could have done that, but there's not. And I like to actually do it next to the door anyways. This is fine. I'll just have to deal with whatever I come up with up here. If I have to make 3 patches in the ceiling, I got to make 3 patches in the ceiling. Oh well. Live and learn, right? And in this room, same thing. Even if it made more sense to do it over there, I like to put the switches next to the doors as best I can, because you know, when you come in a room, if you want to turn the ceiling fan on, usually where are you going to find the switch? Generally right next to the door. You don't want to come in here and say, oh, okay, where's the ceiling fan switch? Oh, it's way over here. Walk over to here. Or maybe I come up and grab power from that electrical outlet and put the ceiling fan switch right there, so I can come up and not have to make as many patches up in the ceiling, let's say. But then you've got to walk all the way over here or around the bed, depending if you've got a bed here coming from left to right, or from the window coming out here. You got to walk around the bed to get to the switch for the ceiling fan. So you know, there are other options for you. You don't always have to install a new cut-in ceiling fan switch next to an existing switch next to the door. You see what I'm saying? You have options depending what your room configuration looks like and all that kind of stuff. But in this room, I'll probably more than likely put a 2-gang box right here. Chances are this is installed next to a stud in here. Either the stud's here or the stud's there. See, I can tell it's hollow, and right there I believe there's a stud right there. Okay, And that stud is next to this wall, and they made a trough in there, and so there'll be a stud. Well, I hope they didn't put it in between the trough so that there's a stud here and a stud there. That would be kind of crappy, because then I'd have to cut stud out somehow really carefully to put a 2-gang box in there if in fact there was a stud on both sides. So I'm going to hold my breath on that. But if there is, you know, I could still do it if I really wanted the switch there. That doesn't bother me. Okay, so that is pretty much all I have for this particular video. We're just really talking about how to get power up to a ceiling fan location, how to install a box into a ceiling, into the ceiling. Let's say in this case, because there's floor joists up there, I'm going to have to cut the holes like I explained. If you had an attic up here, of course you can crawl up in the attic and do everything up in the attic to get your ceiling mounted. Don't start cutting holes in your walls if you don't have to. I always like to see, is there a way to do something without cutting any holes in your walls? What if you didn't know how to tape and top and skim and sand and texture your wall and prime and paint and get your paint to match the existing if you didn't have any of that paint, if you weren't a very good spray texture guy, if you weren't a very good sheetrock patch guy, and somebody comes in and they say, oh yeah, Joe did that. Doesn't that look good? And you think, oh yeah, that looks like crap. I can see the whole big old textured area right here that doesn't match anything else. The paint didn't match. Why didn't he just put a cut-in box in here? Instead, he ripped it out and cut it out. He didn't know any better. He didn't know how to take this box out. So this existing single gang box without cutting a big old hole here. So he just cut a big old sheetrock hole there. And then he cut one up here and he cut one up here, even though there was an attic up there. What did Joe do that for? You know, you don't want to start doing all kinds of stuff like that. You want to look at stuff, think about things a little bit before you just get in there and hey, you want to do it faster, just get a bigger hammer. You have a problem, just get a bigger hammer. No, that's not how it works. In some instances, you just don't want to do that, okay? Now, when I get ready to do this particular project down here, of course I'll make videos of the whole thing. And of course I'll show you from step to step all of my things that I'm going to do. And when I come in here, I'll probably make a different video series for installing this one. This one will probably be a little bit different than the other bedroom, but you know, it'll pretty much be kind of the same. But it's always good to refresh your memory on stuff. The more you watch, and the different things you watch, the better understanding you're going to get. And I've made ceiling fan videos before, and I always think, hey, why am I going to make another video of the same thing I've already done? Well, the reason why I do it is because I never know what I'm going to say from one video to the next. So, you know, if you get on my channel, hi Pip, if you get on my channel and you see something that you think you've already seen before, hey, you never know what Joe's going to say next, and it might refresh your memory. It might keep you from making a $150 mistake, a $300 mistake, a $500 mistake. Who knows? It might save you some heartache to see what Joe has to do with different things. Hey, sometimes my jobs don't come out like I was planning initially. But I always have a way to fix it. Or I always have, hey, my loss is your gain. You know, had I have done this, this, and this, I wouldn't have had to have done all these extra things. Now that you saw what I did, maybe that'll save you from doing the same thing. Okay? So that's why I make all of these different videos the way I do. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. And hopefully you will begin to appreciate some of the videos that I make. I mean, most of the videos that I make, I'm actually working. But sometimes I might review a project. I might review it prior to me doing it, or I might review it after I get done with installing a whole project. Or I might just not do anything like that. I might not do anything like that at all. I might just make a video as I'm doing the project. So you just never know what you're gonna get when you watch my videos. But thanks again for watching.